What am I supposed to do when I poop now? As a content creator, we often get hung up on the idea that we can't run our businesses, run our YouTube channels without Instagram, and because we always need to be keeping in touch with our audiences and growing our channels and blah 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 engagement numbers. But I quit Instagram for the past 180 days, and it's it's fine. You can quit Instagram. It's fine. And here's what I learned throughout this process. I haven't flipped a complete 180 and become a Puritan that thinks Instagram is the devil. I actually see a lot of benefit to having Instagram and other social media. Because at the core of it, a social media is meant to be a social experience. Meant to be. It isn't always. And Instagram is a great way for me to keep touch with friends and family. It's a great way for me to host group rides through my main channel. I've met friends through Instagram. It's cool. I find it at least somewhat fun to post stories and to exercise my creativity that isn't in a full-fledged video. And sometimes, very rarely though, but sometimes you can actually learn something useful from Instagram. I actually just recently learned that if you want to cook tofu faster, that you should boil it to get the water out rather than pressing down on it and squeezing the water out. But there are so many drawbacks to Instagram. The main thing is that it just sucks up a lot of time, and I tend to be a pretty diligent person when it comes to how much time I'm spending on my phone. I even made a whole video about it here. I reasoned that for my YouTube channel, for running it, for creating engagement and ideally making more money, I would need 15 minutes a day on my phone to have Instagram active for me. So I had my girlfriend, who is now my wife, put on a 15-minute limit on the screen time app so that it gets blocked once my 15 minutes are up. But let's just multiply that. In a year, 365 days, that is 5,475 minutes, which is 3.8 days in 1 year that I am just spending on Instagram. And just thinking about how that time just magically evaporates and is gone forever is really scary. Just 15 minutes a day in 1 year is 3.8 days. Yikes. If I had just spent 15 minutes playing bass or guitar or drums every day, every single day, like I was spending on Instagram, I would be a way better musician than I am now. It's kind of embarrassing how much time that we devote to Instagram instead. And then there's also the social comparison where everybody on Instagram is just posting the best of the best. It's the highlight reel. Even though I didn't really consume all that much Instagram, the main thing I used it for was stories. It still brought up the social comparison where all my friends were going to these sick concerts and meeting up with these people and going out and having a great time. Whereas I'd be stuck on the toilet looking at how much fun they're having and not having any fun myself. Inherently, the system of Instagram or whatever short form content values, whatever is the most shocking, whatever is prettiest, whatever is the most amazing. Like, I get recommended so many dope drum videos and I'm just like, I can never be that kind of drummer. That is insane. The first 2 weeks of quitting Instagram made me a little anxious because I was wondering, like, how much less money am I going to make because of how much less engagement I'm going to get on my YouTube videos. But after getting that hump of wondering what the future is going to be like and what life without Instagram is going to be like, it was fine. Nothing really happened. I mean, I'm sure there's a small boost to my income and to my YouTube channels from engaging with Instagram, but it's not so much that it's an absolute must-have like a lot of us content creators have convinced ourselves that it is. Even though I'm only spending 15 minutes a day, that 15 minutes is very chunked up and sporadic. And every chunk of time, every like 30 seconds or 1 minute that I'm spending on Instagram every day, it interrupts my train of thought. And when I'm making videos, it's really important to me to really focus on one single thing and accomplish it. Like, I don't record videos 30 seconds at a time. The biggest benefit that I've had is that I actually think more clearly. It's nuts. And I'm able to get things done more efficiently without ever engaging with Instagram. And that's a trade-off that I found that I was doing when I was choosing to have Instagram installed on my phone and to use it for 15 minutes a day. The other really super important part of the coin that other people aren't talking about is the cost of Instagram. How much time does it take from you? How much attention does it take from you? How much does it interrupt your day? How much does it interrupt your life? And for me, even though I was only using it for 15 minutes a day, it ended up being an appreciable amount once I got rid of it. And it's to the point that I have pretty much no desire to going back to using Instagram on my phone on a daily basis. On top of that, I'm no longer comparing myself socially in every single regard of life. And I'm just overall more satisfied. It's hard to quantify it or to put a pin in it, but like, I'm no longer comparing myself to other drummers and getting discouraged that I'm not going to be a great musician. I am just sitting down, working on my craft, playing music, playing with my band every week, and we're getting better and better. And instead of comparing myself to other people, which you shouldn't do because you're not them, I started comparing myself to myself more often. And when I look back at how much progress I've made since the 6 months that I quit Instagram, it's been a lot. I can sing and drum now. I never thought I'd be able to do that. It feels like growing a 5th limb. It's amazing. And that progress of being able to sing and drum or whatever it is, it's something that actually deserves to be celebrated. But I don't need to share it with the entire world. Speaking of things I don't need to share with the entire world, not every single thing needs to be shared with the entire world. Nobody cares that I'm eating ice cream at Gunther's in Sacramento. And if you haven't been, and locals, you know what's up. I could just be in the moment, enjoy my Gunther's ice cream, and leave it at that. Oh my gosh, what a concept. Just being present and enjoying life. And that is perhaps the biggest benefit. I'm no longer thinking about, oh, is this thing that I'm experiencing good enough content? Will people like it on Instagram? How many views will I get on my story? How many likes will I get on this post? None of that. It's just, I'm living my life. I don't think that I'll ever use Instagram the way that I did before, just having it always installed on my phone. I got married. I didn't post anything on Instagram because everybody that is important in my life was already there. Without Instagram, I find that it's a lot easier to get my priorities straight and to just enjoy my life, because time is all that we have in life, and it's best for us to improve the quality of our time and to not interrupt it if we're enjoying something really good. I know that my life, it's not that important. I'm going to die and be forgotten just like everybody else. And that's okay. If I had to sum up quitting Instagram in one word, it is peaceful.